Whoops, I forgot. Hey, Don here. Okay, so looking at my stream over here on my laptop again, and the scripts, same old script error. Okay, I do hear myself in the background, but it's hanging up that machine. Okay, so I'll just leave it like that for a minute. I'll make sure I remember to put it back on full desktop. But see, well, let me just do it right now. Okay, I'm going to go back to the desktop. Get back on the ASRock, and it did ask me a yes and no question that I didn't expect. It's got all the packages downloaded from that script, but it says 231 packages. It says, do you want to, my browser may be hung up over there. I'll just leave it alone for now. Do you want to install, wire in, yes or no? Say yes. Can't tell. It's bothered me because I can't see for sure. I saw that I was online and everything before the script hung that thing up. But no, it's taking so long. I'm just going to close the web browser. And it's not responding, of course, so I'll do the force it. Okay, so you should be seeing what I'm doing here. Let me make sure I'm on the desktop and everything looks okay. Desktop, yes, okay. So now it is actually installing all those apps. I did get to take my little break, but as soon as I got back, that popped up the instant I sat down. So I thought, well, this is something that needs to be shown, even though it's not as, still got about halfway. It's about halfway through. Just the installations take a little longer usually than the downloads do. So maybe it was, but considering the part we did before, the long installation, or long download, I mean. I had there it is. I don't know if this would help or hurt. Yeah, I think I'll try. I'm going to get me a cough drop because I think it does help a little bit with the drainage is coming back. But I'm also getting a little hoarse. So, laptops, even though I force killed that, Firefox hadn't quit yet. That's why it's still running hard. Hopefully it'll quit. But, okay, now running transaction check. Okay. I thought those were the installs. I'm not quite sure what that other section was that I just now did because I was distracted by my stupid laptop. Kill. I already did end process and it still hadn't ended, so I'm going to do kill process over there. That's why I keep the system monitor open all the time in my system so I can do that. And now it's shut down. So now I can open it back up and make sure that I'm online. I know my stream is on. I'm sure it is, but that's another reason why sometimes I don't. It gets a little more confusing to me to have another machine running and more stuff to do with my left hand. Because I'm running the laptop with my left hand and this machine with my right on the mouse, I mean. And of course looking and thinking two different things. That's about all the old fella can do. Okay. Looks good. I see it back up. I started to turn on my sound, but that script will probably... Yep, script's fixing to script error fixing to come up. Now that doesn't happen. I don't know what the difference is. I have the newest version of Firefox and everything. Of course, I haven't run any install scripts or anything. I don't have any extra codecs or anything installed. I can't really imagine exactly what it would be. Maybe I need iced tea on this thing. I probably don't have it on this laptop. I haven't added anything to it. But whatever's there, I mean, it can run most things, but not everything. So, okay, now I'm online and I can hear me talking over there. All right. But this doesn't happen in, sometimes I wish I could show it. But it doesn't happen, and I'm not talking about the system you see, and I'm talking about my laptop that I'm using to monitor this. I have Firefox 54.0.0.1 64-bit. on there. But I'm still having these troubles. And I believe that's probably exactly what I have on this machine as well. Let's go look right quick. And on both of them, I'm actually running Firefox in what they generally call portable mode. So it automatically updates itself instead of waiting on the package, because the domain is behind and this Fedora 23 is way behind. Oh, that's 55. I think I just said 54 on the other one, didn't I? 55.3. Okay, maybe that's it. So the newest, no, yeah, 54.0.1. Of course, I hardly ever run this thing. Maybe it just needs, oh, it says restart Firefox to update. So it will be in a minute then. It just because I hardly ever run that laptop, it hadn't got updated. So it should be 55.0.3 now when it gets restarted. I don't know, maybe that would fix those script errors. We'll see. Okay. Definitely wants to tell me that it's updated. So I'll click on my live dashboard again. I'll put me a link in my, whatever you call it, the quick links that you can put at the top of the, well, let's hang on. I saw something in the wrong place and I was fixing to fix it, an icon, but okay, well it went straight. Well, of course it does go straight to it. One thing I could do to show that is, well, I might be able to do a remote desktop into it, but I wouldn't risk that with all the network stuff I'm using. I could turn my little camera towards it, but it's aimed perfectly at this monitor, which I don't think I've even used it today. That's why I got to thinking, well, I could turn the camera I have behind me towards it. There's a script error. I think I'll try it. Let's see. Probably be pretty hard to do, but let's try it. Okay, now this is my machine I'm on in the camera, and I can actually turn it really easy. I just think it won't. Oh, I can. That's good enough to give the idea. I'm not going to try to zoom in on it or anything because it wouldn't really help, because the more you zoom, the blurrier it gets with this camera. It's not, you know, good. This phone camera, it's only like 1.7 megapixels anyway in video. Like they're like 5 for pictures, but only like 1. They're not even 2 full megapixels for the video. Anyway, I hit top script. This happens. This is what I'm talking about every time. You can see my head bobbing around back there. Every time I try to go to this page, I get that script error. So then it's froze up until I answer, until it pops up and I answer it. And then, but then I can do that and hear myself there in the speaker of the laptop. And then I just, I use the bookmark toolbar. That's what it is. I don't like it being on all the time, but I turn it on just for that purpose. And then I just go back to my website for something that doesn't use up a lot of system resources. That's my music website where you can download I got 2 albums on there. It's called DonsSongs.com if you're interested in that. Okay, screen, desktop. Go back. Now, where are we at? We're getting there. 304 of 336. Desktop. Okay, I want to make sure we're there. Okay. So now I've kind of lost track of where I think I am in the script, but I think this may be the last batch of actual installs. Well, there are a few more. Well, but it skips on down with all those comments, number signs that comments out all that other stuff, and there's some more to be at the end. But it's that shouldn't make like a divider in it or anything. It says running script calf. It's part of the install, evidently. It's not my script. Yeah, that's part of the installs. There's a whole bunch of them. Must be part of how it's installing some of this stuff. So we're getting close, and we'll see if it's the actual end or not, or if there's more to be done in here. But yeah, I would like to be able to monitor my feed full time to know what's going on, and if somebody did, there has actually been just very few times, but twice somebody I know tried to say hello to me, and then twice since I've been streaming. I mean, not today, but it's the whole time I've been doing these live streams for the last several months. Some people I didn't know, tried to say something, and they said something, and I didn't answer them, and they took off. But I can't. I don't have a way to do it. I don't have fast enough machines. Maybe I'll get me one of those servers I want. I can't run it in here all the time, I don't think, unless I find one that's super quiet, because it drives me nuts. But I've been learning about servers, real, commercial grade servers, and I always knew you could get the older ones cheaper. Well, now it's to the point to where there's some pretty fast machines you could get, and you can, some of them you can actually put a video card in. That's what kills you on using a video server as a desktop. It's a video. It's usually 16 or 32 megabytes on these ones that are like 7 to 10, 12, 15 years old, And, I mean, you could get a newer one and spend more, but I think they kind of jump from, the $200 to $500 range up to the thousands of dollar range. Once if they get very new, they're not going to be pulled out and for sale. They're still being in service. So, anyway, I've been seeing I've been watching one particular channel, a guy named Morton. Does he live in? I always forget the name of the country. I think his native. He speaks good English, but his native language is Dutch, I think. He lives in the Netherlands. Anyway, I'll say the wrong thing for sure if I keep trying. But he's really good. He's a good teacher, and he's just, he's real pleasant to listen to and everything. And he's not full of BS. He just he just shows you how everything is and how you do it. And so I've learned, and that's what he's been doing this for years. So I was watching his older videos at first, and now I'm up to watching his newest. Complete. Yeah. Text Live is all in there. Okay, it should end up coming up to the command prompt again. There, there we go. And there is something else. Okay. Anyway, I've really learned all the things I didn't know. Not everything, of course, but I've learned lots of things I didn't know, and now I realize I could run a server and have a really powerful machine. Okay, marking packages to install by the group. Okay, they may be going to ask me by each group, because this is sound and video group. Jack, audio. See, this is get everything up and running without any trouble. I've tried installing Jack, piece by piece, the audio setup and kit, or whatever you want to call it. Calling it a kit there. That's the connection kit. That's one of the GUI apps. But anyway, say yes, and it will install everything to get Jack up and running. And it's pretty useful. You can do a lot of things with it. I don't need it to run OBS, but I used to need it to do my GTK, record my desktop videos, so that I could, let's see now. Oh, there's a whole lot more to it than that, too, looks like. 407 packages? 962 megabytes. Okay, so I'm kind of all wet and funny about not having to type yes or no. I guess that Y install only worked with that first little line, and then after you go to the next set, then you're going to have to answer these questions. Now, what you could do, and it's probably what I would want to do, this is going to be a while, so I can go off window and show what I'm thinking here. There's my script. I'll just hit view. Because I don't think I'd try it right now. I think I've probably thought of this before. Well, how would I do that? I might be able to put that in, but put DNF space /Y space group install, because DNF Y install. So the only difference there is group install. So I might be able to put it in there and have every one of these, me not have to answer it, not have to attend it. And that's something I'd really want to do, because that was audio. What was that? Audio production or sound and video that I was doing? So if that asks me on every one of these groups, I'm here for a while. And having to answer that. I don't see why there would be so many packages, though. I may be wishing I'd have remembered that. I don't think I've ever tried that because, I mean, I could go looking through my other. There is that one that was really long. Let's see. It's going pretty fast though, but see, it's 230. Oh, first it said 231 and 513. Oh yeah, two. Okay, so 513 is how many RPMs it's going to be downloading, and it's about halfway through. So in my folders over here, let's look at extensions, see if I have any other scripts. I don't have any other scripts. I've already showed all, I've already opened all three of these. But maybe I have a text file. Last time I could have been just looking at a text file. Now those I already know what they are. That's for me running. I can open that. That's number one. Oh yeah, there's one that doesn't have. Oh, this is from the last. See, I saved every time. I must have saved it as I went. Maybe one in that list that doesn't have 1, 2, 3, numbers on it. No, it looks like they all have a number. The biggest number is 10. Yeah, but so it was asking me, just like this, when it would get to certain points, it would say, do I want to do it? So, Fedora 24, things to do. So yeah, definitely, I'm not 100% sure that would work, but it sure looks to me like it would work. Putting that Y, putting the Y in front of group install, that would have been worth a try there. Put it in front of every one of those. I also thought there's another way that you might be able to do it, and that is that's the wrong one. Do it like this. Just put a space in between each group. The only reason I hadn't tried that is because I don't know if those group install if the group installs need group install in front of each and every one, or could I say group install right here at the end of this one here, right there, and then put group install and then list every one of those with a space in between them. I would think that would work. But that would actually be harder to edit it that way than to just put that little Y right here. I'm just thinking, thinking of what's the easiest way to edit it. And to make it easy to read, really. And this does look more like a Kickstart file that they use to install Fedora with. Let's see if I have a Kickstart file anywhere to show one. Not there, but I might have one in my... Well, if I have one, it'll be in my old backups, probably. I don't even know if I have anything that old in my USB drive. It'd probably be on my old machine. I'm trying to think. I'm going to go to Yum. There it is, Yum app install files. That's my running for years and years of seeing all my scripts I'd made over the years. I don't see one called KS. No, it's .ks is the Kickstart file. Actually, let's go to my home directory. There may be one. Used to be one always in your home directory. Guess it's not in that directory anymore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it could be a Kickstart file without, the file extension on it. There were some apps back in actually I quit working at Fedora 11. That's the last one I was able to make. It's still working away over here. Yeah, 53 of 513. It says installing now. It might have changed over from, I don't remember it. I think it might have went ahead and started the installs without asking me because it was downloading, I think, a minute ago. Or was it? Well, anyway, let's go back to that drive. I'm trying to think of how I could find them if they're there. There's no kickstart there. That's at JKL. Yeah, there's no kickstart file in the base directory. Fedora. Install files. There's an older. See, no kickstarts in there. Fedora 11. Let's see if there's anything in Fedora 11 of kickstart. Nope. Not anything in there. It's one of my earlier ones. I had started trying to learn. They're much more complicated than my scripts here, and they will do more. But I had started trying to learn how to make my own kickstart file, because that's the key to customizing your. If I could make my own kickstart files, I could add those. You can add those to. You can do a custom install, or I think you still can. You used to always be able to do that with Fedora. And here's my want to install my server, some of my stuff. Anaconda KX CFG. Okay, I guess. Well, let's look at it. That's one right there. View. Okay, this is a kickstart file. I think it might have used to have been named .ks. I'm not sure. No, I think it's. I put KS so I would know. I think CFG is what they use actually. I was probably wrong about the file extension, but here we go. Let's see. Yeah, it's still working away on that. I'm still on the desktop. Okay, I'll left hand click over here. Let's get back over here on my laptop and let it come in over there. See system authorization information, enable shadow, pulse audio, graphical, that tells it to run the graphical setup. This is for installing, but this is one of the control files. This is the main one. And if you can learn how to write these, then and most of this you could just copy if you just get one from, say, get a Fedora 26 kickstart file and then add what you want to it. And that was what I was trying to do, but I ran into all kinds of hang-ups when I would change the, see right there it says packages. When you start changing this, okay, see that's the old group install. Well, this isn't old. That's Fedora 23, but I think in 23 you could write it out at like that, or you could write it out the way I'm doing it now with the quotation marks and the name of the group in between. I think the quotation marks and the name of the group, that works for sure, and this may or may not work. But you see, these are all group installs. And maybe, well, no, that's not maybe, that it used to work in Yum, and Yum is what does the installation. So, well, at the beginning it's Anaconda. So anyway, this used to work in Yum, but I don't know if some of these may work and some of them may not. But you just at whatever, see, design suite, audio, admin tools, hardware support, email server. This was for my server. Make compiz, and this was, I didn't make this. I saved this out of the server install. Found the kickstart file and saved it. So and you see it has my username in there. See root. It has some code in there for the passwords. Those are the hashes for the passwords. There's my username. So this was after it was already installed then. And auto partition LVM, clear partition. Oh, that must have been what I did to clean up a drive to use it. And anyway, that's what was installed on the server. And did I see mate in there? No, there's no. See, it didn't install the desktop. This is the basic headless server without a desktop. I saved this thinking I might go back and figure out how to build me my own custom kickstart. And then there's some into that part right there, the packages. And then add on to Comrade Hat. I don't know what that means, end. And then Anaconda. See, this is it's a script, but it's a different, it's not a, It's not the exact same kind, like simple kind like I'm using. Speaking of scripts, I got that script error over there. Okay. Yeah, it's not the simple kind like I'm using. So, and then there's more to it down here. And then Anaconda, that's the installer. I don't know what all that means actually, but that's your Kickstart file. That's a pretty basic one. It doesn't even install a graphic desktop. But this is I believe this is, well, I'm pretty sure I saved this after the installation. All this stuff about your username and password obviously wouldn't be in a basic blank Kickstart file before. See, it even sets up the network. Well, I don't know if it sets it up, but network information, DHCP, IPv6 activated. Oh yeah, see, hostname IBM local domain. So this was edited automatically by the system after my first boot up, I'm sure. And yeah, it's using SHA 512 for the authentication encryption. That's what those hashes are for right there. So yeah, I don't know. I'm sure somewhere I have a unchanged one, but anyway, you can kind of imagine what it would be like. I keep getting into that downloaded videos folder. It always goes to the closest one to where you are. There you go. So if I'd have had it organized by the newest on top, then it would have went to my downloads folder. So where are we? We're at 322 of 513. So doing good. I wish I had. I don't think I have XFCE on the laptop. Only way to know is to reboot it. Well, I guess I could go into the app finder thing. Let's see. I can do this. Cam 1 in desktop? No, Cam 2 in desktop. That way I can see the laptop on the left, even though it's small and far away. And you can see my head there. And I suppose I could try to zoom into it. And what's going on over here on the right, as long as I leave that. Now I'm curious about zooming into that. I can do it. I can do it remotely with I'm on desktop. Well, I'm on both. Okay, that's good enough for now. Okay. Now, might as well see how it would work. Whoops, a little go. I'm not so far away I can't do it. But you see, you can't read anything. You can kind of tell what's going on there. It's very crooked too. Of course, it was already a little bit crooked, but with me, turning it, then it gets really crooked looking. Okay, so there's the laptop. Now, if I decide to use that screen, turn it back to my other screen, I'll have to remember to fix that. So, I'm still on the view of what's going on there, but it hasn't caught up yet. So I don't know looks like it's trying to reload and it hadn't done it yet. That's what it looks like. Guess I'll reload it. Now when I reload it, I imagine I'll get that script error. Oh, I got it. Yeah, it was trying to reload and wasn't successful for some reason. But I was thinking I would try to, while that's going on, I'll let that be visible. Oh, it's only going to be visible if I do that. There we go. That's one good thing about a preview. It helps you. Of course, you don't see it yet, evidently, but you will. Either that or I don't. Well, if I don't see it yet on the laptop over there, then it must not be live yet. But yeah, you should be able to see the terminal on the right and the laptop on the left in a minute here. That might be that script error fixing to come up. Yep, that's what it is. Hear an alarm. Somebody's going to get up. Okay, there it is. Now, um, if it wasn't so blurry, I mean, if you could actually read the screen, I'd work harder at getting the camera aimed at the laptop, but you couldn't read it anyway. So, what am I trying to say here? Well, let's just go there so that it won't, the machine won't work itself to death. Now, I wanted to know what other desktops it had. Actually, I don't really can't think of any good way to do it, but just use oh, this is a domain system. Use Synaptic. There it is, Synaptic. Okay. Now, if I get in there, I will go ahead and do search for XFCE. See if I've got it installed. I might want to install it if it's not installed. I don't think I won't do it right now, though. I don't give too many things going at once. There it is over there. I have XFCE installed on this system. App Finder. Oh, is that what no, I'm using Mate. I'm going to say that's not what I've got App Finder installed, but I don't have the whole desktop installed. And I learned how to do these scripts in Domain with Artist X distro, which started out being on Domain Etch and a Half, which was some like Domain 4 Etch and a Half, I think. And they said we're in the beginning. It was the very first year they made it, and it was all audio video stuff. I was really interested in it, and so they showed you on their website how to do it, and I just typed in some stuff in the top of the terminal at the beginning, whatever it was, like Synaptic install, apt-get install, and then space, copied and pasted every app. It was like several hundred apps into the terminal window. Took a while, and once it was done, they said you should be about 99% done there, and it was. And I never had to do anything else. I mean, there's a few things I noticed didn't work, but it was stuff I didn't really know what they were supposed to do anyway. So it was just all new to me. I mean, this was years ago. So and that's the first time I tried to use Jack, and I had trouble getting it going and using it because I didn't understand it back then. I mean, I just tried to use it. Then I had to read about it to even try to use it. So yeah, I would probably want to put XFCE on here. I could even end up running it as the desktop, and maybe, who knows, maybe it would run a little better. And I mean, it runs great in everything but that stupid script error on my. But I'm not going to do it now while I'm in the middle of installing everything on everything on this other desktop. That script error is so aggravating. And oh yeah, I didn't look and see if I can do that before it comes up. Well, actually, what if it's, oh, here we go. Yeah, I've got Firefox 55.03 now, and I'm still getting that script error. So I forgot to check. I knew that's what was going to happen, but I forgot to check. See, now it's already not responding. I tried to close the about. There it goes. But that script error is going to come up, and I'll have to tell it to, and it won't. And even though you click on always kill this script, it will not do it every time. You have to click it every time. Well, maybe it would work while I'm on that page, but if I leave it and come back, I have to do it again. I don't ask this, stop script. It's a JavaScript error. And like I said, maybe if I install IST, I don't know. I didn't look to see if I have IST on there. But if I stay here a long time on this page, then it'll start using up too many resources. And we're at 447 of 513 on the ASRock installing. So that's going okay. Go back to my website. Okay, so I'm going to go into Synaptic again and see if I have ICE-T installed. Anyway, but there's no oh yeah, my old scripts I can't run. I used to get them that I could get them to run by using skip broken in Yum, and there wasn't any skip broken in DNF, so I couldn't run any of my old scripts. Plus, a lot of them were looking for old apps that weren't available anymore. And let me type in this password again. I'm using the wireless keyboard on it. That's why I'm not up there on the laptop doing it. But I think they do have skip broken in DNF now. But I don't really like to do that anyway. Once I discovered, that's when I really got into the groups and started learning about the groups when I couldn't use my scripts anymore. And the groups don't give you that problem. So, you know, what I would do is there's a command you can run to list all the apps on your system, which would include, you know, like the things I had installed from RPM files that weren't in the repos. So you had to use skip broken or it would just hang up. Well, but you also get the video drivers and stuff, and you know, like a proprietary. Well, it can't install the proprietary video drivers from the repos either. But some of them might be in RPM Fusion. But anyway, skip broken was the only way that my scripts would work. Well, with these group list scripts, you don't have that problem. But it would be nice, on the other hand, to install everything on my Fedora 23 system, except for the things that don't work right. You know, I really don't want that on there. So I haven't tried to do that since I haven't even tried it, but I'm pretty sure that you could do the skip broken thing. And I never had any big problems, even though I installed video drivers that were for, you know, letting it install video drivers that are not for your video card are fine, or chip, whatever, if it's on board. They're fine as long as they're not for that same brand and similar. Like, say if it was for a similar model but not your model, then you might get hung up and break your video, your GUI. I never had that happen, but I'm sure it could. Let's see. Okay, on the laptop, we're at 513 of 513. I wanted to look for ICE-T. Now I'm getting myself into too much stuff. So that didn't bring up anything. Guess I should have done 2 words. Yeah, now it's got everything under the sun. Let's go ahead and switch back to my main desktop here. I want to show what I'm actually doing. Okay, we're at 513 of 513, and it's just finishing up, looks like. And I thought it was just fixing to do something any second, and it's not. I was looking over at the laptop. Now I'm getting myself too much going on. Okay. So, it's still, even though it's at 513, it's using the same number over and over. I don't remember seeing that before. It's running the script. Gedit. It's installing or setting up. These scripts may be setting up these apps, you know. I don't know. I don't remember seeing that running script so often like this before. I don't really remember one way or the other if I actually ever saw it before. I must have and just didn't think about it and pay much attention. But it's doing that. See, it'll say installing. I remember seeing the checking out and installing and all that, but I don't remember seeing running script, running script, running script. Okay, now verify. You always see that. I think it's verifying the installation. Okay, now let's split the screen again to where I can see the laptop in this one. Okay. Now, IST is not installed on the web browser plugin. That's the one we would need. I know you can't see that, but I'll just and it's going to install IST.NETX and IST.NETX Common. Now I may, and it added the, okay. Alternative, I'm going to go ahead and do that one too. Alternative JVM for OpenJDK. I think that's really more for developing, but sometimes that actually helps you to. Another IST plugin. Why is there another one? Oh, there's IST7. That's the one I did. And then there's another one. I'm not going to do that other one. It's probably the older version. Yeah, and that's it. Let's see what's the difference. Browser plugin to execute Java applets. Dependency package. Okay. And then web browser and the 7 plugin based on OpenJDK. I don't know. I'm going to leave it though. I'm just going to install what? Okay, now we got a question over here. I'm just going to say install on the laptop here, and let's see if that works and stops me from getting that error. I might have figured that out after all. I'm hoping so. And that's something you really kind of may need on. You may want on all your Linux systems is that IST plugin, open source Java applet browser plugin. It may save those kinds of headaches. Oh, okay. The laptop distracted me. I'll just talk about that in a minute. Okay, now install 159 packages, 322 megabytes. So we're going through each group. See, if I could use that Y install on every one of these, I wouldn't have to answer all this. I could go off and leave it forever, however long. That's the way my scripts were that I built. You could just go off and leave them until they were done. Unless you had some sort of major error, which I don't remember ever actually happening, then they wouldn't hang up. They'd just, now if something, but Y install, I had Y install and skip broken. So if it was broken, it would skip it. And, that could end up having a problem that you don't know about because you didn't answer it, yourself. Safest way is to answer everything. Okay, so over here on the laptop it says doesn't make any difference. You can't see it. It's just a blurry mess there. Okay, so let's go back so that you can see something worth looking at. I mean, it's probably a bit small to read, but you can see that terminal working. All right. Some package cannot be retrieved from the servers. Do you want to continue ignoring these packages? I don't know what good that would really do me. I'm going to say no because there's that other one that I didn't click on. Failed. Security, Debane. And the 7 thing is not found. Okay, so what I'm going to do is try to go back and pick that other one. This not 7. I'm going to have to unpick these others. Actually, I did add that Java. Let's try that first. I wasn't paying much attention. It could be that Java JRE that wasn't working. Let's try that. I don't know for sure. I wasn't paying good enough attention. I think it's working. So that Java JRE, something wasn't there for it. So yeah, because usually IST installs pretty good. Well, it always does on Fedora. But yeah, it looks like it's doing great now. And it's done. So I think I'll leave the browser in case I just end up needing that other one, the plain IST plugin. I would think it's an older version. Well, it's the same version. I don't know why there's a 7 and a plain one. I won't try installing it until after I try. And I'll have to close the browser most likely and open it back up to look over there at my system, make sure it's monitored, make sure it did finish closing, and then I'll open it back up. And see about going to my my YouTube page, because I'm pretty sure I've got I know I have IST on the Fedora 23. That's something I almost always install. I haven't done any really setup on this laptop yet. Go back to my admin page and see if I get that script error. Okay, it went straight to it. Well, it always does. Now, I'll wait on that. I'll just let it sit there a minute and see if I don't get the script error. That was the answer to that nagging problem. And it's kind of looking like I might have fixed it. Usually comes up fairly quickly. I don't know. I tried to turn on the audio and it didn't turn on. There it is. It's a jetpack. Good old jetpack. It's always been a jetpack every time I've had that problem. Now, I used to try and go and delete that stuff out of the places where they were. It didn't matter. And I'll go try installing that other one. That may not fix a thing. Okay. I think I'll even close the browser this time. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. The times when I had it before, it was a temporary thing that ended up being fixed by Firefox. But, okay, this time it's just the plain IST plugin. Doesn't have the 7 on the end. Looks like it's just going to install just as happily as the other one did. Yep, sure did. And there is a open source Flash plugin too, but last time it used to always stay way behind the regular Flash, and actually you don't necessarily need Flash anymore. I don't have Flash on this system, I don't think. No, I don't think I have Flash on my Fedora 23. So let's go see if that made any difference. But I don't have that problem on my Fedora 23 system. Maybe I'll look in the browser in a minute. If I have it again, I'll look in the browser and see if there's something I can see in there that might tell me. Well, I didn't want to go. It's been doing that. It's been doing that on the other machine too, my Fedora 23 on YouTube. This time I won't click on anything else until I give it enough time to see if it's going to work. But let's see, 185 of 221, so we're getting pretty far along with our next group. So I guess it's asking me yes or no on each group. If I wasn't distracting myself with trying to fix the laptop, I would have paid more attention to what it's asking me. But I actually think I'm starting to get hungry again. I ate a meal before I started all this, but I guess it's been a while. Several hours now. Yep, there's that script error. All right. Well, that's no good. So I'm going to close Synaptic. I don't want to keep distracting myself from what I'm really supposed to be making my video on here, what I plan on making it on. I'm still live, though. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is get back on the main desktop. It's about time to show what's actually going on over here anyway. Main desktop. Okay. Oh, warning. Okay, first warning. Something. I don't know. So much and it's fixing to go by it. Appreciated. They're all depreciated. Florence, free desktop, Genome, Crypto Cache. This could be because of my script. You know, some of these things in my script may be older. You know, those groups. I think I had a couple of groups that weren't actually in the ones I looked up today on Fedora 26. So I probably need to make a new script. It didn't say that it was not there. It said it's depreciated. So it's going ahead. I believe it's installed them. Not quite sure what all of it is. Florence, I don't know what Florence is. Genome, crypto cache, and all that stuff. Path, it's going too fast. But it's installing a bunch more stuff. Shotwell. This will be a really fully equipped system, it looks like. And that's what I like. I usually would be lucky to use half of the apps that I have. But sometimes there's one app that you might use once in a year, but it's really important when you have it. There's apps on my Fedora 14 system that are not available anymore. A couple of them that are my go-to apps for things like, I got one for fixing, I think I might have it on this system, but there's one that I always think about that can try to fix messed up, well, you can run a CD or a DVD in it and it'll try to fix the errors. And does it try to fix it on the CDD or just make you an ISO image? I can't remember. I think if it's writable, it could fix it. Of course, if it's not writable, it can't, but you could copy the data, fix the data, copy it off, fix it, and make an ISO. I'll write it on a new CD or a DVD. Yeah, there's some stuff that I've never found again since Fedora 14. Of course, I skipped all the way up to like Fedora 19. I didn't install any of the others. So, you know, I don't know exactly when it went away. Same backends, drivers, cameras, etc. That's always good to have. Make your cameras and scanners work complete. So a lot of times you may never use the front end of a lot of these apps. I may never use a lot of them, or somebody else may, you know, would really not ever use them, like my mom or something. But okay, now this one says 79 packages. Yes or no? Well, yes. Let's install those. I don't know what group it is because it doesn't say that. I guess I'm missing it. Oh, Wireshark and all that. So that must have been the security ones. So the back ends, a lot of times, the things that are considered the back end to the, you know, the graphic user programs, like that sane back end. That's what made me think of it. That'll make your scanner work in all your apps that can use a scanner. And if you, you know, it took me a long time to find all these things and install them one at a time over the years. And, you know, for a few years there, I was able to remember a lot of it. I built quite a few systems, you know, like just installing, remembering things and looking them up and installing them. And I would, you know, like install 10 to 20, 30, 40, 50. I've installed like 100 some odd apps at one time, and, you know, Apper or Synaptic or whatever. But you also can run into all kinds of conflicts and stuff, and then you got to figure out which ones are conflicting and take them out, you know, and all that stuff. And you can just spend weeks and months doing that. So that's why I'm showing this, how I do the groups and everything. Well, I forgot to say, I was my laptop script. I clicked the wrong button. I said continue instead of stop script. Because, man, this can build you up a system in a matter of hours instead of months to complete, like, full-blown, ready to do just about anything system. And, of course, you don't have to install all these groups. You could just say, if you have certain groups that you're just interested in, then, you know, just install those. But you're probably going to want, you know, most everybody's going to want the word processing stuff, you know, the Office apps. And you're probably going to want, if you don't use scanners anymore, you just use your phone, you may not need that, saying back in and all that. But if you use your phone as a scanner, then well, you may need some networking apps so that you can copy your, like I use SSH. I have a, what's it called? Some kind of SSH app on my phones. Turn this SSH server, a secure FTP server on my phones. And then I use Krusader, the file manager over here, and just go to the phone right here. On one side is the phone, and the other side is my machine, and then copy files back and forth. And that's how I, and also, when you're using SSH like that, you log in as, we can log in as root or your regular user, and on the phones, Android, you actually get the same permissions either way, but it's really just your regular user permissions because the phone's not rooted. Mine's not, but I guess it wouldn't matter if your phone was rooted. But anyway, you can still delete all the, like all my videos, I'll copy them. Unless I have so many, I can't do it that way. Then I have to take the my SD card out and put it in my adapter, put it in my machine. But as long as I don't have more than about 10 gigabytes, then I can just copy them over SSH, and then once I get them backed up, I'll delete them off the phone to get space back on the phone. And I've been doing that. Now my web browser's locked up. And when I said continue instead of stop script by accident, it was hung up. And Firefox is still hung up. Well, now the machine's working hard, so I'm going to right click and kill process. I could have shown that, but I didn't think. Sort of. Well, I mean, you can't see it. You just see in the laptop screen. You can't see what I'm actually doing. So describing it's probably just as good at this point. Yeah, I sure would like to have some nice cameras. Of course, I still couldn't broadcast in, true high def. Wouldn't matter if I had a 4K camera. It wouldn't matter on the. I mean, it would be better. It would be better, and I think it'd be readable because like the guy I was watching his videos. I know his camera's 4K because he makes actual movies. He has like a little movie company over there, and I watched one of their movies. It's pretty good. But it was a Western. It was sort of like, well, it was an old Western looking style, but it was modern too at the same time. But it was short, Western short. It was good, really good. Kind of funny. And it was meant to be, But anyway, he has like a whole crew he works with and makes real movies, but he makes these videos by himself all the time. Well, I think he may have somebody helping him with editing his videos. And he's doing something that I'm really interested in. He has a whole array of servers. I mean, he has a server room set up in his house, and he's got all kinds of servers, 3 or 4 racks of servers. And anyway, he has a video encoding server, video rendering servers, and he can use them or let his friends use them from wherever they are, far away. They don't have to be right there. That's really cool. I've always wanted to be able to do something like that, and I've always wanted to be able to do that. Just to I used to think I wanted to have a job editing video, and after I got to do it more and more over the years, I had a job in a video editing place back when VHS tape was the thing, and they would let people come in and edit their own videos, and so I got to use a video toaster, and some analog editing equipment, and it was pretty cool. I didn't do it for a long time, but I did sound for bands and stuff I started learning to do sound in about 1983, and then I started doing sound for bands from about I don't know, about 90, 91, somewhere in there I always say I did it for about 12 years, so I might have started before 90, but anyway, it's kind of hard to know when to count it, I did sound for just like one person singing with a tape, a karaoke tape. We didn't call it that back then. We called them backup tapes, but just the music with no voice. You could buy them, for Christian songs back. We've always been able to do that for many years, ever since cassettes were, ever since the 80s anyway. And so anyway, I did that a lot, and then I got to doing sound for Christian rock bands and everything, and I love that. I got to do sound for a lot of my favorite bands and stuff over the years, and it was really cool. But and then also, and I wanted to make a living at that sort of thing. I ended up getting a job at a local Dallas Christian radio's TV station as a master control operator. Basically, what I was doing live editing. I was switching the programs. They had several tape machines and a little 5 or 6 button switcher, Grass Valley, but it was just 5 or 6 buttons. And you start a tape, you punch a button. You start, and after about 20, 30 minutes, you start another tape and you punch a button. Well, and you had to do commercials. They weren't supposed to, it was nonprofit, so they weren't supposed to be real commercials, but they were commercials, but they were different. They were like nonprofit type advertisements or whatever. People telling about their shows and stuff. So you had to do like 2 or 3 minutes of that in between each program. And then they also, the station itself had a live program that they did every night, I think. I worked on the weekends at the midnight shift, midnight to 7 or 8. But sometimes they would run really late, and they would still be on when I would get there. So sometimes I'd be playing that. And I always had to play their tapes, they did. And they actually did their tapes on SVHS, Super VHS. Everybody else's was 3/4 inch tape, but they had 1 or 2 SVHS machines, and theirs were taped on there because it costs so much more money to buy those 3/4 inch tapes. So, and none of that was as high quality as what I'm streaming right now over the Wi-Fi. It wasn't widescreen, and it wasn't as high resolution. But this is considered, really poor resolution compared to, 4K. I mean, people are doing YouTube videos in 4K every day, 4K every day. So, but you can't stream full 4K. There's not enough bandwidth. I mean, maybe if you had Google Fiber, maybe you can do it, but I don't think the YouTube service could accept it. Now, you can upload 4K videos to YouTube, but I haven't seen, every time I go, paying attention to it, look at anything, the people that actually shoot in 4K, they always say, at first they were saying, well, what's the point of me doing this? They'd say that in their videos, what's the point of me doing this if YouTube won't play it that way? Well, the download streams aren't that fast either. So now, I don't know if it's changed yet. That's been a couple of years, or a year at least. I don't know if you can watch really and truly full 4K on YouTube or really pretty much anywhere. I mean, you see that logo everywhere, but just because the video was actually uploaded in 4K doesn't mean the download that you're watching. The stream, well, for instance, YouTube streams are always, unless you change it, they're always automatically set to whatever your bandwidth speed is, and they'll give you what will work best for you. And if you turn that off, you can change it to whatever you want, and they'll tell you, that's what they would tell you how to do that on those videos. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, 179 packages. Let me go back up to the top of that row and see if it tells you. Okay, installing group packages, but it doesn't say the name of the group. Oh, there it is. You go a little higher. Engineering and scientific. So yeah, each group is stopping and asking me yes or no. This one's 522 megabytes, 179 packages. Okay, but that's pretty fast. I mean, you can see I have a pretty darn decent download speed. I got 60 megabits is what I got, and lately it's been pretty good. It's been a little over that. My upload is 4 megabits. Sometimes it's been higher than that lately. They were advertising 100 megabits and trying to get you to buy that, and so they're probably getting ready to go to that for everybody and then just charge you more whether you like it or not. That's what they've been doing all these years. Every time they up the speed, they just finally they say, well, we don't offer that lower speed anymore, so here's the higher speed and you got to pay more, which always makes me mad, but I do like the higher speed. The only thing that I really wish is that there used to be here in my area, Texas, for quite a few years ago now, there were some wireless internet companies that were giving you, back when 10 megabits was really good, they were giving you 10 up and 10 down. And that meant 10 up meant you could run servers, without any problem. I mean, multimedia servers, I run my web server, but all it has on it is, it has some MP3 files, but, I'm not running any live streaming or anything like that. I don't have a lot of traffic. If I had a lot of traffic, I wouldn't want to overdo my bandwidth, because then I couldn't surf the internet, and also your download, just because you got 60 megabits down, don't mean if I had even half of that, if I had 30 up, my downloads would be twice as fast, way more than twice as fast, because your downloads and uploads work together. I don't know exactly what the ratio would be, because I'm not a math expert, but in a network engineer or anything like that. But it would make a huge difference. I would imagine if you just had 10 up at 60 down, you'd probably be doing really good. You don't hardly ever see a real fast upload speed, but on Google Fiber, I forgot what was their download speed. If I lived where I could get it, I would get it. But it was really fast. I remember I just couldn't believe it was that fast. And I thought, all the things I could do. I could run all the servers I ever dreamed of. I always would like to have ran a web server business, and like back when everybody paid for web space, before everybody just started using, social media and stuff like that. I would have loved to have done that. That's when I first started learning how to do web. My first web server ran on Windows 98 first edition, and it was Apache web server. I learned how to install it on there, but I was on dial-up, and so I couldn't run all the time, and I couldn't leave it running even while I was on there all the time, because if anybody accessed it, it would make it where I couldn't even read my emails hardly. I couldn't surf. But now I could do fine. I don't ever notice a thing. Once in a while, I used to run an FTP server, and it got to where these stupid scripts, people kept running scripts on the internet trying to find FTP servers and trying to log into them. Well, there is no login on mine. It was read-only. And there wasn't, to the internet, only from me, from my local network. Anyway, they kept trying to log in on the internet and running scripts, and so I would get like 100 and some odd failed logins, in one day, or more than that, on my logs. And so then there's an app called Fail to Ban, and I learned about that. And Fail to Ban will only give them so many times, and then it will ban that IP address. And so I have to, I run that on my server. Always have since then, years ago. And there's some other ones too, some other security apps. So Fedora is really good about, the Fedora server sets all that stuff up for you. All that other stuff, I don't even think of names of any of them right now, but but I finally ended up just I didn't even install an FTP server on my web server on the Fedora 23, because the one I was running before that, I think I had Fedora 21 on the same machine. That's when I finally said that I'm tired of this, It's not that, hardly anybody. I just had it for people I knew, I had it for two things. No, not just for people I knew. I had it so that people could download all my songs easily. But people don't even know how to FTP anymore anyway. So, and I would even put them up in zip files, so you could just click download one file with all of them and stuff like that. But and I would also send FTP links to a friend to, like, say if I had some files I wanted to share with just them, I would put it up there for a week or two and let them download it, and then I would just delete it. It was actually publicly accessible. Like I said, I didn't have any logins or anything. I just had everything on there read-only. But so finally I just quit using FTP servers at all, and I only have web servers. And I only have straight HTML with no scripts or anything that can be, vulnerable and all that stuff, because it's just too complicated to keep up with. Although if I had, a dynamic website that was one of the ones that Fedora provides, and there's several of them. Drupal, I think, is one of them they provide, which is one I like, and there's some others. It's automatically, as long as you have automatic updates turned on, it's going to automatically be updated just as fast as the updates come out. So you should be all right. But I didn't want to spend the time setting it all up. And when I put Fedora 23 on there, and that was when it came out, right after it anyway. And so now I still haven't done it, so my website is still just straight HTML. But I used to have little Java counters and stuff on my website. I ended up taking all them off because of all the vulnerabilities. I don't think I have any more Java on there. I tried to get it all out of there. I found a counter one time, a year or two ago, that I didn't know I still had on there. And the reason I found it is because it had gotten, the back end of it had gotten hacked, I guess, and it was pointing to, instead of a counter, it was pointing to some kind of game thing. And the game thing seemed to be just, wasn't infected, but it was somebody trying to push their game on everybody. It was called Circle Push, as a matter of fact, some stupid game. And so I finally, I like to never found that. I thought my whole thing was infected. Finally found out that the old counter script had been, let's see, I know the terms, but I can't think of how they do it, but code injection into those, code injection had been put into that, where that counter came from, and so the server where it came from. And so, because that counter, that web page counter, pointed to a server somewhere that did the work, and so the code injection caused it to go to that circle push instead of. I finally found it and found the code in it, and so I took all that out of there and cleaned it up. That's it's always a fight to keep your servers clean. So, yeah, this is it's on 188 of 188. That's good. It's, I need to look and see where I am in my script. Definitely taking just like I said, it's taking a good long time. It may take longer than I even thought originally. If I would have taken a few of those groups out of there, it would have sped it all up a little bit. Quite a bit, probably. But let's see. Well, let's wait. We're right here at what's fixing to happen. I'm fixing to go to another group. But yeah, I really need to. I need to just try editing that script. Thing is I don't set up a new machine all that often. Although I'm getting ready to set up a bunch of them. Well, kind of a bunch. I'm going to do mine. I'm going to do 2 or 3 more. Yeah, my mom's mine, at least 2 more, probably more than that, with Fedora 26. And so, yeah, I need to tweak that script to where it's really, I don't have to sit here. I'd prefer, there's no need to really have to answer this manually. Although, see, I did see that one thing that said warning, and I wouldn't have saw that if I was gone from it, But, I'm already gone an hour and 13 minutes, and that's my second video tonight. I'm looking at my thing again. It is nice to be able to do that without having to go and show it. But now it's sitting there at 188 of 188, running a script, okay. Speed crunch. All this stuff, all these things that go with these apps, Well, a lot of these are the apps, because, like, I'm installing groups of, like I said, I'll get apps that I never even heard of before. These groups may have changed since Fedora 23 even, so I'm getting itchy to get off, stop sitting here looking at this black screen with words sitting still. But what was it? Well, we'll find out when it's going to stop when it gets there. So documents, yeah, there it is, Fedora 23. Okay, yeah, that one's at the top now because it's been edited. So let's just hit view. I was thinking about actually doing that, putting that Y in there and all of those for the next time, but Might do that in a minute after it gets done with. I probably should just turn that other one into the new script, really, but I was trying to see. Oh yeah, I was wanting to know where I am in it. Design suite, security, engineering, and science. I think I was on engineering and scientific. So see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more groups. Uh-oh. And I don't know. That makes me want to stop it at the end of one of these. I suppose I could say no. Then we'd just go to the next one. I'm kind of wishing I could stop it, edit this script and stop it, and then start it over. And the ones that are already done, it'll go through them. It'll take some time, but not near as long. It'll say already installed, but it won't do the downloads or the installations. But I'm actually getting a bit tired, and I don't want to stay with this for 4. Gosh, that could take several more hours. I didn't realize that. So looks like this video is going to be it's I'm not going to make it another rest of the day long. So although you could do that on YouTube Live, you can go up to 8 hours, but I wouldn't want to do that. I actually saw 8-hour videos on when what was it called, Hot Rod Magazine. I like to watch their videos. Well, anybody that likes cars has probably by now heard of Roadkill. Well, they put on Hot Rod, the same guys, Hot Rod and David Freiberger and the whole company Motor Trend put on. Let me get over here on the. Let's just go ahead and close that. Hot Rod Drag Week, and everybody. Okay, there it is. It came up. Let's see. Let's go back up and see. Hot Rod Drag Week, and you can race anything you want. It just had to be street legal, and it's quarter-mile races, and they drive around from racetrack to racetrack around the United States, and it's several thousand miles or 2,000 miles or something worth of driving, plus all the racing in between, and they you have to drive your car. You can't trailer it, and you can't have a whole crew. You can have friends help you and stuff, but you can't have a whole crew. But anyway, oh man, the last couple of years, the fastest cars were 6-second cars, under 6 seconds, like 590 something, 580 something. Amazing. And then all the way from that to. Well, if you want to race your old truck, some people what they were doing, it was kind of a workaround to having a crew. They would have a friend come along with an old diesel banger truck. Actually, they weren't that old. They were pretty new, fancy-looking trucks. And they would race them, and they were like 18 seconds in the quarter mile. And they raced them in that race just so that they could come along and be on the track, be in the pits to help you work on your cars. They're bringing their buddies in that way. It's kind of cheating, but they didn't make them not do it. But everything from that, I mean, like your 15-second cars, your 12-second cars, there was plenty of them. Like my car, well, of course, I never did it on the track, but I had a 64 Chevelle that I put a 350 in back in the 70s. And I graduated high school in 75, so I had it from like 73 to 75 or 8, something like that. Yeah, I got rid of it either in 74 or 75. But anyway, you would do about 12 seconds in the quarter mile, and that was considered pretty fast for a street car back then. And that was our measuring, with the clock and all that. But anyway, back to the group installs. Okay, where's the name of the group? Okay. Making packages as installed by the group robotics. This time it's at robotics. So that's odd, because that's not how it is in the deal, I don't think. But that's the way it shows it here. And so there's the files, and they've already been downloaded, I believe. Yeah, it says install. Do you want to install? Yes, and this is only 266 megabytes. So we'll let those install. And yeah, we know we're on robotics now, so let's see. Now, if I just double click on that script, I should be able to, it'll open up in Kwrite, I think. That's what it's called, Kwrite. Should open it up in Kwrite and allow me to edit it. Doesn't. Oh yeah, Kwrite opens kind of slow, so I think it'll probably be opening up. Yeah, Kwrite. Yeah, that's what's the default, looks like. Let's just hang on there and give it a chance to. That didn't show up in there. That still doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't going to open it up in there. But I'll wait for a minute. I don't want to overwhelm this machine while I'm doing so much with it. So I'm recording a video, streaming a video, and remote desktop, all that. You didn't hear me burp, did you? I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Got a feeling it just didn't take, which is fine. I'll just right click and open with. Okay. I'm looking at my live stream again to make sure everything's okay. Of course, I'll have to say stop my script error. I wish that would have fixed that a while ago. Okay, so here's what I want to do, though. Let's see. I don't need both spaces, just the one there. So if I do that, Control V, there we go. I'm going to try it because, oops, did a V instead of, if you don't hit Control right, then, oops, I try to go fast and mess up. Yeah, if I think I'll save this one with a different name in case it doesn't work right. And I won't change. I won't. Oh yeah, and you had see these others, the ones that aren't used at all yet. You notice they don't have the quotation marks, and so they wouldn't work. You can't just put DNF group install in front of those. You have to add the quotation marks and everything. And so I guess some of these are duplicates of what's up here, and I had started just copying and pasting them up at the top because I wanted them at the top, and then I started realizing it'd really be easier to just do them where in place, you know. The reason, I think one of the reasons I did that is I thought, well, if I mess up, I want the original in there. But then, well, as you can see, the ones down at the bottom, I changed my mind about all that. So I'm just going to do the ones that are live right now. I won't do those other. Well, those are already set up, so whoops. Yeah, because I'll probably. Well, why does that look so different? Oh, because it's it looks different because I got the comment out on it. Okay. Now the ones I haven't got that are all commented out, I'm going to leave them alone. Okay. I didn't have any trouble with, I guess, did it ask me? I still think it would be best to not do it up there. I don't think you can do it on update anyway. You might be able to, but I'm not going to try to do that Y-install on the RPM Fusion because that's not straight out of the repos, and I don't know what that might be something. There. That should tell me, I think, script. Maybe I should say with Y. The W is, no, that's confusing looking. The W, for me, that's my abbreviation for with. Okay, so now, next time I run that, a Windows file server, SMB, Samba. I usually do like to have that, but one thing I don't like about it, when it, you know, that's more likely to have vulnerabilities and everything. So you kind of, if you know, do you want that or not? The virtualization, I don't know why I ended up. I don't know why I had that uncommented and was using it before. I might have probably because I thought it might have KVM virtualization, and I wanted to try it instead of VirtualBox, but evidently I didn't because I've never used it on this machine. So this was the one I did run on this machine, except for it didn't have that RPM Fusion in there and all that. Okay. Yeah, this will be my new version. And let's see where we are on those installs. It's working away. It's getting there. 178 to 191. Okay. Well, I'm getting to be an old hand at hitting that stop script error. I ought to make me a macro to hit that every time. I saw an article. I'll forget exactly how it was titled. It's almost there, so I won't go look. I started to go try to show it. It might be on my homepage, but I saw an article that was saying, new thing, to automatically do mouse clips for you. New application or browser add-on or something. I was like, yeah, that's called a macro, and it came out with Windows 3.1. And then they quickly people turned them into malicious macros, and they called them macro viruses. And you'll still see that in all virus scanners, macro virus scanner. So I thought, how silly. What are you, 8 years old, writing articles on a website? Got to know about that. If you can write articles on, all that kind of stuff, and which of course I don't know. They might have had, they do have a lot of those places have different people writing all the time, so it could have been somebody that's young enough to never. How could they have not heard of a macro though? They're not that outdated. You can get macro plugins for Firefox. I used to use them. I used to use them to. Like I got tired of logging into my router, so I made me some macros to do it for me. And the macros will do mouse clicks and keystrokes. So I would just start that macro, and it would log me into my router, and I would do. And as a matter of fact, it would do. They didn't work as good as the Windows 3.1 macros. They would do anything on the computer, anywhere. Now, the ones in Firefox will only do in Firefox. So you couldn't have that macro. Like if you were in Windows 3.1, you could start that macro. It would go open up your web browser. It would go to the website or whatever, or go to your router admin page. You could log in. It could do a change. And I forget what the change was that I wanted to do all the time, that I didn't want to have to do a 10, 15, 20 clicks to get it done. But I used to use that for my something to do with that, administrating my router, that it was a repetitive thing that I had to do a lot. But they could be misused for sure. And that's how they used to do things. They'd send you macros can be embedded in Word files, and they can still be embedded in Open Office Word, word processing files. But they're disabled now by default, has been for a long time. But you can turn it on. But yeah, macros can be put in Word files and a lot of Office Suite files, and they could do. Back then they could do anything on your computer, so they could be misused. So people would hide them, put them in a Word file, and you can tell the macro to do everything it does in the background and not be seen. So that's how they could be used as a virus. Because you can either turn them on to where you see the mouse moving around everything, or you can turn them on to set them to where you don't see anything. It's all done in the background. But pretty cool, pretty powerful things. Of course, people misused them. Okay, we're done. Complete. Now what do we got? Did it already go to the next group or what? Yeah, it did. It goes so quick that I don't know what's happening there. It says done. Let's see. Metadata expiration check. No match for group package system config date. Okay. Dependencies resolved. Nothing to do. Complete. List metadata check. Group. Okay. New group. At authoring and publishing. Okay. It's saying the at again. So that's the way it reads that, even though it's not written out with the at in front of it, with the ampersand in front of it. Yeah, ampersand. Sometimes I get the words right, sometimes I don't. Okay, 35 packages. And I already forgot the name of the group. We'll do those. Yeah, I've already forgot the name of it. but it's pretty short, so I won't go back. And I could go back and open up my little group file. I should just leave it open, I guess. Let's just open it up in view only so that I can't hurt it. Move it to, well, let's leave it where it is. Okay, so yeah, there's not a single one of these that has the ampersand in front. The at, we call it, everybody calls it at ever since they put that in email, and they say at instead of ampersand, which would be hard to say. But yeah, that ampersand doesn't stand for at, it stands for, it is an ampersand. So, and it used to be used for other things in the English language, which I can't even remember now. We had to learn that in school. All that stuff. Now I don't remember a lot of it. So, we're almost there. Okay, there we go. Transition check, so it's fixed into install. It was in downloading before. 58 megabytes? Really? It's a lot more than I thought it would be. But text live. I kept seeing text live. I've already seen that before. Of course, some of these groups may have the same apps, and they will be. If that would be the case, it would say already there, already updated. You know, and it wouldn't install it again if it's the exact same thing. But oh yeah, I was going to look at the groups. Authoring and publishing, that was it. Yeah. It's getting on through there. Well, Mate's going to be, I don't think Mate's on here, so that'll take a bit. Some of these others won't take so long. Network servers. I wonder why I went ahead and did that. I probably should have went ahead and did SM Samba, because not only will you get the, I think I will go ahead and uncomment that for the next time. Oh, no, I won't. I'm going to have to open it with KROT so you can edit. Yeah, I think whenever I put it on any of these other systems. Oh, I think it was going to do them all. I don't know how that happened. Selected them all. But yeah, the virtualization, I'm not sure what that would be for. That I don't, it must be. You know, a virtual box, virtual machine manager. Oh, okay. So that's Qimu, and which is quite useful. It's just that virtual box is easier, and I usually don't use Qimu much. Qimu starts with a Q, and I've started to open it, but I'm not going to because I want to overwork this system. But yeah, so I wish I had went ahead and installed Samba, so. Because it's not just, well, it says Windows file server, but that always also give you the ability to view Windows file servers. So that can be very good. Go back where I was. Looks like it's about to the end of that. I'm actually getting hungry for a whole meal again now. It's 7, and I don't remember what time I ate, but I know it's been at least 4 hours. It's probably been longer than that. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. I don't know. I might have ate it around 3. It was somewhere between 1 and 3. I don't really know. Oh, yeah, okay. It was sitting so still, I thought, where am I at? I'm in the wrong place. No, I'm not. It was just holding still for a minute. Yeah, it's kind of a, like I say, when I actually do build my mom's system, I probably don't want, I had planned not to put all this, everything in the kitchen sink on here. There's actually an app called Kitchen Sink, and it was like a syncing app. But it's kitchen with a K, I think. But I don't know. That's not in here in this bunch, I don't think. But okay, that's complete. Anyway, to make it simpler for her, It really doesn't matter. I installed all kinds of stuff on her machine, and she just doesn't use what she doesn't need. But anyway, I thought I would not install as much stuff to simplify things. But if that script would run automatically, it'd actually be easier for me to just run this script. Then I go back and edit it again and try to make sure, okay, I get the things I need, but don't get the, because just like I just realized, I probably should have ran that SMB Samba stuff. Okay, now what? Okay, there it is right there. No, yeah, okay, marking packages as installed by the group editors. I just haven't been paying any attention. So the other one was finished. Now it tells you right there before you say Y for yes, what your next group is. Editors, definitely would want those on all machines. A lot of them are text editors, but some of them are, well, Emacs and Genie. Oh, there's only two, Emacs and Genie. That was 45 packages. Okay. Well, I guess it takes 45. No, that's LibreOffice and all that too. I see it. I don't know why. I don't know why I only saw Emacs and Genie, but those are two text editors. See, Genie. Well, Genie's not a text editor. It's an IDE programmer. Emacs is a terminal text editor, command line text editor, and it's actually one that I learned to use pretty well for a while, and then I didn't use it for a long time and kind of forgot. You really have to learn how to use it, but it's really powerful. You can do anything you need to in there. And really help you if you're in the terminal and you need to edit a file and you don't want to, well, for instance, if your GUI is broken, you need to edit the config file for X11 config file. It's perfect for that. And that's what I used to use it for, was stuff like that. But I haven't had that break in years now, ever since I quit using proprietary video drivers. The problem is they stay behind, way behind your driver, all your kernel updates and your video drivers, your non-proprietary video drivers and everything. And so when it tells you get a kernel update and you didn't get the proprietary video driver update, and so it would break your GUI, your graphic user interface, and then so you get a black screen, just a cursor. Well, no, you don't even get a terminal where you can type. So what I would do, since I was always using SSH, SFTP, I would log into the machine with SFTP with Krusader, and then I would open that file. I would copy it over to my machine, the other machine that was working, edit the file, and then copy it back and overwrite the old file to fix it. That's the other way you can fix it. Or you can go into Grub and tell it to boot into a terminal in the first place, and then you can edit from there, and use Emacs or something like that. You can do it either way. But I haven't had to do that I just really just quit messing with the proprietary video driver. But there's two things you can do. Novu, let's see, no, not Novu. What's the name of that? Novu is the name of a lot of the Linux video drivers that you get in Fedora. But that's the ones that you usually get by default. Sometimes it's called something else, depending on your architecture of your machine. But I can't think of the names, but there's two packages that you can install, sets of packages you can install that will tell it to get those proprietary video driver updates along with the kernel. I think what it does is it makes it look for them, and I think it holds the kernel back until they're available. I think is what it had to do, because obviously can't rush the proprietary software writers, to do it sooner. So I think it would hold back the kernel updates until, which, actually could end up being a security risk. You really kind of want the newest kernel updates as fast as they come out, as long as they're, not alphas or betas or anything like that. You just want the full releases, But I don't know if I'll think of that. Maybe I'll think of the right words. But okay, installed LibreOffice. Oh, okay. And all the other things. And then, okay, so it goes through the whole list there. Oh, I see. That's everything that was installed. Okay. And now, oh, no, that's the new list. It went. Now, this time it doesn't tell me a group name. So what was that? Just the downloads? marking packages as installed by the group mate applications. Okay, so sometimes it jumps ahead. It jumped ahead and evidently downloaded all these first, and now it says, "Do you want to install them?" So I'm right and wrong in both instances. Sometimes it shows you, sometimes it doesn't. Say yes. But yeah, that why. I mean, there's really, I can't think of any reason to, other than learning and knowing exactly what's coming onto your system. That's good. It's very good. But if you trust the packages and you're sure you want them, then yeah, if you hit some really bad error, you would want to know and say yes or no. But as long as you feel like things are going to run smoothly, then that Y install that I put in there, went ahead and put in the script, that would really speed things up. Because you can just, I mean, it's going to go just, I mean, the only delay I have is me reading and saying, yeah, Y, and hitting enter. But you don't have to be there. You can go off, So what I would be doing probably is getting on another machine and working and just checking it on this one once in a while, which is what I've always done with my install scripts that I made from my package lists of my systems. Now I've got my laptop over there just running what's going on in real time, and it's not going nuts and working too hard for some great reason. I don't have the audio playing. I wouldn't want that. But I can see if I could just, I can just click on. Now all I have to do, if it would let me do that all the time, if it could keep up without working itself to death, making noise and bugging me. But if it works too hard, it'll just get hot and it'll shut down. But anyway, I can just click on the audio button to hear that I'm still working, that everything's still working. I can see that it's working. I can see the terminal window moving over there now. I'm kind of beginning to get used to it, that there's something moving on there, but you don't have to look every time. Well, not like totally go, what's that? That's what I was doing. That's 46 of 74. The cruelest thing about that is what shot is live. And sometimes I don't realize what I've done, I've done the wrong thing or something. And I've done that a lot during these live videos, and you can't fix it. Once you do that, it's done. Your backup copy is going to be just like the one you streamed, so there's no way to fix that. But there's something kind of fun and exciting about that. I always liked doing live sound. I always liked the sound of live bands, much better than the albums most of the time. Some groups, I don't know, I would say they're very technical or whatever, but not necessarily. I mean, I've seen some of the most technical players playing live just awesomely, but really, bands that use certain effects and things like that can't really, especially back in the 90s, couldn't be reproduced live well because of the problems with the room, the acoustics, and the feedback problems and stuff like that. I couldn't control. They used feedback a lot, and they couldn't control it well in a live situation and stuff like that. Or if they used computerized, sounds and stuff like that, most of them couldn't. What I did sound for couldn't afford the expensive laptops of the day, and they'd bring their desktops along, like the techno bands and stuff, and then the desktops didn't travel well. They would get them there, and they'd plug them in on the stage with them, and then they wouldn't work. There's something wrong with them. Probably sometimes the hard drives would get out of whack from being banged around. Well, usually I think it was just Windows acting up, because everybody used Windows back then. But or maybe some of them used Mac, but Mac was expensive, so I don't imagine. I didn't know back then because I wasn't all into computers. I did learn to use Windows 3.1 back in '92, and I got on the internet some back then, but there wasn't much on there. It wasn't too interesting to me. Mostly what people did was chat, and well, that's what I knew of, is they chatted and stuff like that. And there actually was a lot of files that, if I'd have known what the kind of things I know now, I would have all been into that. Message boards where you download, share applications, and do all that they had back then. The BBS and the government. And I did learn about the government gophers, where you could learn things there. Wasn't a lot of files to download, but it was a lot of information. But the government gopher sites they were put up by the government, we could learn all kinds of things, and I learned how to search and surf on those in '98, starting in '98 when I got full-time internet connection and on a computer here at the house to use. I was using friends' computers back then, and but anyway, the most interesting thing to me was I learned how to make a database in MS Works and put all my phone numbers into a little database, a spreadsheet. I learned how to do that. And that was before, I think Excel might have been out then. I think it might have been out, but I didn't. That's not what was on that computer. And then I printed it out and put it in my wallet. I had to make it like font size 6 so that it would fit on the page. But then everybody got to knowing I had my database in my pocket, and they're like, what's so-and-so's phone number? What's so-and-so's phone number? It's driving me crazy. I was like, don't you have something you can write it down on? Keep it in your purse? But 74 of 74. So it's fixing to be done with this one. I guess it's, let's see. Well, that other video, I don't know how long I was installing before I quit. Probably about 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. But since I started back up, it's an hour and 46 minutes. So, yeah, it's longer, probably going to be an hour to hour and a half longer than I thought, because I said 1 to 2 hours. Okay, now, this is only going to be 8 packages, and it's going to be Mate Compass. Well, that's not too many. I thought that would be a lot for Mate Compass. But I'll have the Mate desktop installed, even though I won't plan on using it. And if anything does get broken in the GUI, then you can go in there and fix it. Or if something else, just some other reason you need to do something. Now, when your X11 gets broken, it doesn't matter what desktop you try to log into, you can't do it because that video driver is installed in all your desktops. But there's a lot of other reasons that you might have something broken in your desktop that you can go into another desktop to fix it. That's something I haven't had to do in a long time either, which is great. I guess, over the years, Fedora is the main one I've used, has gotten more, and Debian. I use Debian, but I used Debian as my main OS for 2 years when I was talking about earlier about using Artist X. I ran that for 2 years, that same system, on Debian Etch and a half for, I think it was 4.5, 4.5 Etch and a half or something for 2 years. And the only reason I really went, I liked it fine, except for it was, and I didn't know how to run Firefox in portable mode or any of that stuff back then. And so Firefox was always several months behind on its flash updates and stuff. And so we would get to where I couldn't watch any of the videos I wanted to watch, and that bothered me a lot. And so that's when I went back to Fedora. Otherwise, I might end up staying with Debian. Okay, now this is going to be medical applications. Okay. This is going faster on these. They're shorter. So, and I guess, even though this is a long video, this is good. You're showing what each group is like, how big they are, how long it takes to install them. Yeah, and if I don't plan in the near future to getting around to editing these videos. That's why I put on my YouTube page and my About page a whole section on edit my videos. And my videos, I made them all open source so that people could do that. And because I hope somebody would do that, take them and edit them and make them short enough for normal people to watch. I mean, you can skip through them and everything. I do that on long videos all the time, but you don't know what you're missing. You can kind of get a feel like, okay, this part's, I don't need this part, and then skip a little bit ahead, But then and sometimes when I'm doing that, I think I just missed something, so I'll go back, And but any video that's, I actually don't like super short videos. I don't like it when they cut all the interesting stuff out. I'd rather it be about 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And if it's really interesting or really important things that need to really be explained well, an hour's fine with me. Over an hour, well, it better be pretty good, But most of the time. Okay, now what do we got? message. Oh, network servers. DNS mask. Oh, I didn't need that, but it's too late now. Why is it installing network servers? I thought Oh. I'm running that file, and I've been editing that file. So I changed it. See, it's going down through that file. Oh my gosh. You can do that. I just got through editing that and putting the networks. Where's network servers? Oh, that's way up here. Mate. There it is right there. Okay, so we'll see. I just realized, though, it's reading this file. I think maybe I better close it. But I edited this, so it may go ahead and do the SMB server and the virtualization and all that. Well, let's close it to make sure I don't have any trouble with the file like being... Well, it hasn't heard anything yet. Oh, no. The file that I'm running from, I copied over to the machine I'm on. Okay, so never mind. Okay, yeah, I just got myself confused. So, I don't know why. I just didn't see it really, I guess. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, network servers, I didn't need any of that. I don't need any DNS servers, not on this. And I want to learn how to do the DNS servers and get them up and running so that I don't have to, so that my website can be found without, no matter what my IP address is, because I have a ever-changing IP address, and I have to use a forwarding service. So my real URL is that, bishopco.us.2 or something instead of bishopco.com, and it causes trouble in my Google rankings, causes them to go way down. Let's see, Office and Productivity. No, it's going to be some more LibreOffice stuff. See, I'm getting that LibreOffice stuff from different areas here, but it's going to be LibreOffice CalCompress, TextLive XVDI, and then Genumeric. That's like a money app, and then LibreOffice Draw. That's what it's going to be. So those are actually, well, that's not big. Let's see why. Okay. RPM development tools. Oh, this is a whole nother group. Okay. So that wasn't big at all. That was small. Some of them, I was going to say that some of that might have already been installed by a different group. Oh, we're going to have fake root and all kinds of stuff. Python 2. Development. Yeah, okay. Yeah, my mom wouldn't be needing Python. That's a programming. Well, it's a programming language, but you need that to run. Well, you need to run Python apps. Apps running built in Python. So who knows? Maybe some of the apps that would be run. Anyway, there's IDEs to write in Python with, and I've actually learned how to. I made one app in Python, and I copy and pasted everything to do it. But I made in an IDE. I made a screensaver. I actually took a screensaver and modified the text in it to what I wanted, but by copying and pasting. But I happen to know that a lot of programmers do a lot of copying and pasting. So if you understand how to do that, then you're on your way anyway. But I can't get things right. Letters and numbers swap in front of my eyes, and I type the wrong thing. Even when I'm saying it right in my head, I type the wrong things. It's just not the kind of thing I can be good at. I've tried to on and off to do it since '98. Okay, what's this one going to be? We'll have to go back up. Sometimes when the list is long, backup PC, Bonnie, system tools. Oh yeah, actually be some good tools to things like being able to. Let's see what's all in there. Date and time, NetFTP, HTTP. I don't see any ones I was thinking of. There's some that I hope I get them here. There's one thing you'll run into sometimes, and that's, let me go ahead and say yes. SC Linux, Security Linux, which is wonderful. Sometimes you need to add things to allow or turn certain things on and off. And there's some great GUI apps to do that. It makes it a lot easier because it's a really complicated system. And I have them on my Fedora 14 system, but I can I can't remember the names. I can go in my Fedora system and find them, and then try to find them. And some of them aren't available anymore, though. But some of them are. It's just that I don't get the names right. Because just because you see a name of an app up here, like Case Sysguard, that doesn't mean that's the name of its application name. Like see these Perl, all that long stuff there. Some of them you actually need the whole FC26, x86, 64 to get the right one for your system. And of course this is doing that all automatically, but DNF is doing that. But Fedora logs, HTTPD, so and so. Now the name of it would just be Fedora logs HTTPD, but then the version, and then your version of your operating system, and that's no architecture instead of x86 64. I'm a 64-bit, but I could run 32-bit if I needed to. And that no arch would be no architecture. It'd run on either one. But anyway, kind of forgot what I was going on real good there, and then went blank. I do that all the time. Now something changed in this machine, this laptop. It's running. I've just been able to leave it on the live stream page for quite a while now without any trouble. Ever since the last time I opened it up and told it to, maybe it's actually stopping that script if it tries to give any more errors. I don't know. I don't see why that Java would have fixed it after a long time, It didn't fix it when I first put it in there. But I was trying to think. I think I have. Yeah, it must have, because one of my add-ons showed up and it was in the wrong place. So I don't think it was updated. I think it just got installed. Or it might have been an update. Yeah, it happened when on my Fedora 23 system when it updated. Sometimes the icon doesn't go up there where you have it. It goes down there by the search bar. Yeah, it happened on this one too. So it just updated. But I think I have sync turned on to that in that browser, I think. I started to go look, but I didn't want to spend more time doing all that when I first booted it up. Let's see. So what do we got here now? I don't know. Well, anyway. Oh, it just says complete, and it hasn't asked me anything yet. That's why. There we go. Now, this group is going to be plugins for the XFCE panel, extra plugins. That'll be good. See, I didn't have those. Probably, unless it says already installed. Nope, it's installing. I don't see a single one that says already installed. If they're already there, it'll just say already installed and up to date, or it may say updated it if it was needed an update. So it doesn't hurt to have duplicates of what you've already got on your machine. This actually can be a good thing. It can be a quick way to update. All right, now what? Oh, it's complete. Completely and utterly complete. Root, ASRock, Fedora 26, DNF app install files. Okay, cool. So there it is. Finally, it's finished. And I'm looking over here at my laptop, and yeah, it's a little behind. Okay. I don't know. It might be. I don't know how far behind the stream is to what I'm doing, but it is behind. Okay. I think it just now, it just now said finish. It's really tiny, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, because it's not going anywhere anymore, and it looks just like the same size and shape as, I guess I could make it big enough for me to see it. I'm really curious because I've never really, yeah, finished, complete. So it's complete. Oh, and made the machine work hard. I was afraid of that. Okay, so that's done. And I don't want to, do anything else in there. See if I can grab that bar and bring it back up to the top. I want to see what's in there. Okay, yeah, see, it cuts it off at so many characters. Well, I mean, that's a lot of characters. I was thinking, do I want to save that? See if I can go, yeah, I can hit end. You can hit end and home on the keyboard, too. Well, I hit home and it didn't do anything. Well, anyway, that's fine. I wanted to be at the end, but I'm just going to close that terminal, and if I did want to do any more work, I would start a new session. But shoot, my voice hurts, and I was been getting hungry for a while, so I think this is a good time to say quit. But yeah, see, now I probably don't need, if there's anything in this other older script that I wanted, I would probably want to just add it to my new script. Open with GNU client. I wonder, I don't know what GNU client is. Open with Emacs, open with LibreOffice, Genie, AbiWord. I don't see Kwrite. Oh, I probably didn't get it. I probably add that as one of my, I like that the best. LeafPad is fine. I'm so curious. What's GNU client? It says, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's not opening. And I'm opening it with root privileges too. That's probably not a good idea. Okay, well, let's see. Where's my, do I even have, no, I don't have the system monitor running. I thought I had that running. Okay, there's the one where I opened up. You can't close that other terminal while you're, as long as you're running your GUI. Did that close itself? No, there it is. I guess I didn't have it. I guess I should check. I probably went ahead and closed that system monitor because, see if I have any more. I actually want, I want the mate system monitor. I'm going to have so much stuff in there. I'm going to have all kinds of audio, video stuff. I should have, I don't think I got a few of the ones that I really want. And that's why I really could kind of like to make a script. If it was being built for me completely, I would want a script from this 23 machine, Fedora 23, I think, to get these other apps that I had to put in one at a time. It could be that they're not going to show up until after a reboot. Sometimes they don't in the app finder. Oh, let's try looking through this way then. Go to System. There we go. Task Manager. Oh, I've forgotten about that. That one's pretty good. That's the one. That's right. I was thinking of the ones that's on the laptop. Okay. Now here's what's working. See, the team viewer is working it pretty hard. 27% of the CPU. Oh, the app. What app was it? GNU client. Yeah. GNU. I don't think it ever started up. That's why you really don't need to just click on stuff that you don't really know what it is. I don't see anything that looks like GNU client, even though those came up. But this is all right, and I'm sure it's lighter weight because it's the XFCE Task Manager. It's called Task Manager instead of System Monitor, which most of them are called. But yeah, see, it's not using up so much stuff that it's. And if you see that, see Team Viewer. See if I can. No. There. See Team Viewer. TeamViewer starts a wine server, virtual wine server, or well, I don't know if you'd call it a server, but anyway, it runs wine, the virtual Windows emulator. They say if you look at their website, it's not a Windows emulator, it's a so and so. But anyway, most everybody calls it a Windows emulator, and that's what TeamViewer's running in, is that wine Windows emulator. But it puts C in there. That's what all Windows wine does that. I don't have wine on this system. I used to run it, but I don't run it anymore. And on this system, oh, there it is, wine server. Yeah, that's why I was thinking server. It's running that because of TeamViewer. That doesn't normally run. And I don't have it on this other machine, but if I go on it, you'll see it. You see it when you just type in team, you see it on this system, wine server. That's what all it takes to run TeamViewer. But it all happens automatically. It's because wine's a proprietary software, and you just run the I have it installed from the RPM is what I did. Have it installed in both of those systems. You can just run it in live mode, in a portable mode. But let's see. Yeah, so this one, I was going to open it is what I was going to do. So I'll open it up in LeapPad. That's a pretty lightweight text editor. But yeah, I would like to have Kwrite and some other stuff. But on this particular system, I would have got that if I'd installed the KDE desktop and all of its tools and stuff. I would have just automatically got all that. Should have Krusader though. I better look and see. Let's see. It looks so different in this one than it does in the other one, but now I forgot. Well, this is the other. Oh, it looks so different because it's a different script. But yeah, it's harder for me to find what I was looking for without the color codes. But there's some other stuff. As a matter of fact, it will be so much easier. I'm going to go ahead and close this and close all my terminal windows. Close that. Okay, now, you know what? I'm going to, let's see. What I'm thinking is I'm going to reboot the machine. Well, let's see if, yeah, Krusader's there. My favorite file manager. I can't live without that. Okay, Krusader is there. So what I think I might do is bring my camera back around. And the first time you open Krusader, it says you first run, it's going to configure it when you have to answer some questions. And I actually have some certain things I like to do. Put it in the middle. I like that better. Now, if you want to be able to do more, then you can install more stuff. But KDiff is a good app. It says disabled. I guess it's not installed. See, that would be one reason why I do often install the whole full KDE and its tools is to get all these automatically. So I'm going to just say OK, because I know that I could install KDiff, and if you want it, what it is it finds differences in files, and I think you can do up to 3 files, and then you can merge them and do all kinds of cool stuff. It's a good app, but it's not there. It says disabled. Okay, and then okay. Now here's where I thought I was. All these are not supported, but you could add that support, but I don't hardly ever use them. The RAR is the only one I might want to use sometimes. Well, 7-zip and RAR. So you can install those. I think you can click on those, and might even take you to the website, or try to go and install. I don't think it'll open up. May not do anything. It'll probably be in a little bit the web browser. Yeah, it's working. Web browser will probably open up and let you go to their website, and then you could see how to install it. Of course, it's probably in the repos, and you can install it from there. But see, that's the Windows version there. But you would need the Linux version. I don't see it, but there is one. Oh, there it is right there, Linux Unix. So there it is. It's only right there in one place. Let's see. It says it works there, but I'm not seeing the download for it. Anyway, I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to say okay. And okay, there's certain settings I always like to do. Might as well show them. Let's see. Save settings on exit. I want that for this window. Say apply so that I can continue to work. It's not letting me do anything else in there. Let's take it off and see what all it was. So terminal emulator. I don't like that showing all the time, but I do like being able to get to the command line when if you wanted to see it all the time, you can have it showing in the app all the time. But I don't do that. Okay, but that's weird that that goes away. Let's take that out of there for now because it seems like it's stopping me from doing. Okay, do you want to save it? There we go. I'll try to remember to go back up there and save that. Put that save settings on exit. Okay. Try to go through here. View. Sometimes, depending on the operating system, sometimes I change the size of the icons and the fonts, but it looks good, so I don't want to change that. The buttons, I always change the button. Now let's look over here. See, the buttons I have is equal, home, root, and that's really all I want. Okay, so I want equal. I don't want that ... up button, home button, and root. That's all I want there. Hit apply, and then I usually don't change that or that. And of course, this is all up to you, but that makes things work fast for me. It probably would be good for a lot of people. And yeah, automatic extensions, viewer editor. I'll leave that like it is. What is it? I don't see anything. Okay. One on exit. I just want, like, if you know, you want, if there's changes that need to be made. Okay, auto mount file systems is really usually helpful. That way, if you plug in a USB stick or something and it's not mounted, it'll mount it. When you click on it up here and it's not mounted, if it sees it but it's not mounted, it'll mount it for you. And if it's already mounted, it doesn't hurt anything. So I always click on that and it does good for me. Okay, archives. Okay, see, the current page is not saved. Do you want to save it? Yes. Okay, caution when moving files to archives. Yeah, I don't turn that on. Write support in archives, but test archives after packing. That's very useful because if it's didn't work right, then you'll have a broken archive and you'll never know it. Dependencies, I don't usually add those. That's the pointing to them. See, it automatically found them. And the packers, those are the ones that are there and the ones that are missing. And if you install them, then you might even have to go in there and tell the system where they were. Check some files. That's got all the ones that are really commonly used, see? So user, there's where you change the font sizes if it wasn't big enough for you. And this one, it looks great, so I'm not going to have to change that. And that's because I set, usually, like I set the font sizes I wanted in my settings here in the appearance. And that made this work out good, so that's all we need. Sometimes you have to do that because KDE, probably if I had KDE installed, it might take it over and make them smaller, the defaults, and then it'd be too small for me. But that's it. I think that is all of it. Okay, save settings on exit. I'm going to put it like that because I think I want that. Close. There we go. Now, I never did get the themes are different in XFCE. I don't like that extra arrow, but I like it to be like this right here. But let's see, what appearance? What is the theme I'm using? I already went through this once. Oh, it's custom, and it's only custom because I'm either using clear books or glossy. Well, traditional, I could be using that traditional mate. But anyway, in here, let's go back. Let's go over here. Appearance. In here, it's glossy is what I'm using, and it looks a little. It still has that extra deal in there that I don't want. So I don't know, and it doesn't matter what I pick. I couldn't get it to go away. So what's this? Okay, so if I want to go, well, that makes them equal, the same on either side. Makes it the root directory. Okay, home. Yeah, that was my home directory. So documents, and then I hit the. Well, that's already on the home. So go to downloads. Team viewers in there from when I installed it. So there we go. And then the other thing I like to do is, okay, right here I'll use if I want to need to use Krusader in root mode like I was doing in Thunar, but Krusader's a lot better. Then you can go there and open it up. But what I like to do is see, right click. No, not there. Let's see, settings. Configure toolbars, I believe, is the one. And you can even search. There it is, Krusader root mode. Then copy it over there. And then I do sync a lot. Sync panel, sync folder. I'm not quite sure which one I want. Let's go over here and look. Synchronize directories. Why does it say something different? I guess it's this one. I'll leave it at the, well, let's see. Got it right here. Oh, swap sides. I use, and KB rename or multi rename. So I want swap sides. I'm confused about the folder thing. Synchronize directories. Let's see if you search for direct dir. Nope, I think it's just calling it different in XFCE. What's the other ones? Oh, rename and swap sides. Okay. And you can make this big enough where you can see it really good too. Rename, multi-rename, I believe is what I want. And probably want it like that or something. And swap. That's pretty useful. Swap sides. But there's a lot more you could do in there. If you're, you can tweak that up to whatever you like. I mean, of course, there's not room enough for all that in there, but that's the ones I like. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way I want it. And if you make that a little smaller, you can actually see what it looks like and see if it's where you want them. I think I'll do that because then that'll give me the, since that's saying a word now instead of an icon like my other one here. I don't know, it's just the way they did it. It's just this theme. That'll make more sense to me. I'll know that those are the ones I added. That red one will be my marker. So now I can just click on that. Oh, Krusader cannot start root mode because Krusader or KDESU is missing the path. Please configure the dependencies, and it's probably because I need to install something else. I might have to go install some more of those KDE tools. Bet you. That happened in that domain system and I couldn't get it working. But I'm going to have to do a screenshot of that. I don't know whether it's going to, since I'm on a remote desktop, I don't know if it's, okay, it's happening on my main machine, but that's all right. I'll be able to tell. I'm not going to do that right now, but So I'm going to close Krusader. Yeah, because that can be a real pain. But see, I can still use Thunar, though, if I need to. But, yeah, I just remembered that happened on my domain system. I tried to fix it, and I couldn't get it fixed. Or I didn't want to work that hard at it. But I might end up deciding I want to just install KDE and all of its tools just to have all that stuff going. I just thought it might have some things running in the background that it would cause this machine to slow down was the reason I didn't do that. Okay, so, and maybe after a reboot it might be okay even. Oh, and that's what I was thinking I would do. Okay, so let me get over here and, okay, now that's my laptop. Now let me move this camera. Well, first I need to, well, let me move it. It'll be way zoomed in on my, it's not as zoomed in as I thought it would be, but all I got to do now is zoom out. And then I can show all the rebooting and everything. So, yeah, I had a little baby bite of a candy bar earlier, and now I'm really getting hungry. So, I'm going to end up having to quit just because of that. That right there is bugging the heck out of me. It was a time when I tried to go there and forgot to put the ports on there, and it comes up first every time. Used to, you could always just delete that. Okay, get out of that a little bit. It's backwards to the way. No, it's not. I just was trying to move it one way, and it was actually going the other way. Okay. I guess that's, it doesn't, you're not going to, I can't read it anyway. Okay, so, now, what are we on? Oh, we were on the camera. Okay, so, since you can't actually see it that well, I'm going to do desktop, and I'll do a reboot from the machine. And of course, my Krusader will, yeah, oh, I can look over there on my preview. I've got it going. Or at least I could. Oh, it's behind though. Okay, so when I reboot, we'll see, like it's like way behind or something. It's showing Google, and up it's me talking about, oh, okay, that's when I was doing fixing the camera. Yeah, so I guess doing that is really going to be confusing. It's confusing me. I guess that's one reason why you don't necessarily want to look at your live stream all the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is reboot, and then I'll log back in with TeamViewer and all that stuff. So this time I'll just use my name Don, and then I'll do logout, reboot, and that'll automatically kill my TeamViewer session. And I think it just, since I can't tell over there on my, let's go to the camera. Oh, okay. I got to go get on. Yeah, it went ahead. It just, instead of the screen closing like it usually does, it's still showing it, and it's frozen, I think. Oh no, it wasn't. It just hadn't finished shutting down yet. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Now, let's go to. Well, I'm going to leave it like that, and gets confusing though. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I'll leave it like that. Go get on the right machine. I think I was ever going to hit the right spot on the switch. Yeah, if I get on here, I hope I got on here soon enough. I should have hurried. If it doesn't see my monitor, then my video settings will be off. If I don't have the KVM switched over soon enough, it'll just see the default VGA settings instead of the actual monitor I'm using. The default old monitor. It was like this KVM switch is old enough that there weren't any widescreen monitors. There were no such thing back then. So there we go. Looks like I got there in time too. Oops. All right, now get logged in and get TeamViewer up and running again, and we'll see if anything changes. Is the main thing, you know, as to any of my installs got completed and everything. There we go. Okay. I hope it doesn't run any slower or anything like that. There's an SE Linux security alert. I'm wondering what that is. Probably something to do with the new apps I installed and everything. That's what I was talking about. That's SE Linux. Let's see. Source, process, system, log in, attempt to access, read on directory dbus 1. It's only one. Troubleshoot. And then you can make it big enough to read it. If you believe that this should be done, you can do this. You could then you could says you should report it as a bug. You can generate a local policy module to allow you to allow the so and so. Now, if I don't know that it needs to be doing it, I just don't do it. I just let them give the alerts because it stopped it, so nothing bad happened. But if you said you'd have to go run these two commands. On that one, usually you're going to have to run, if they're listed like that, you're going to have to run one and then the other after that one runs. And sometimes I do it, but most of the time I don't. And even though sometimes it gets aggravating seeing those little notices, and as long as everything you're trying to use works, then I'll leave it alone because you don't want to make your system more vulnerable. What is that? Oh, that's an update thing that I didn't have before. Cool. Well, let me get TeamViewer showing. I should have showed that in TeamViewer. Oh, should have went ahead and left. Well, if I could have opened that, what I meant to do, what I should have done is open that up and leave it there until I got TeamViewer running and then show it. Sorry. Actually, I might still be able to show it. But yeah, that update thing. I wonder if I should try and open that up before it goes away or something. Update, open DNF, Dragora, dialog. Yeah, let's open that up. That's DNF Dragora, and that's an update thing. Okay, that's cool. All right, now it'll be there for me. Okay. Okay, I got to get this little password so that I can use it. I have to write it down. I can't remember it long enough. I'm going to run out of room. I've been writing them down on my little, since the address stays the same, I've just been writing them down on this same sheet, but it's filling up. Okay, so go to the other one. Okay. Should be able to just connect. Yep. Oh, the password's still in there, but it's not the same. I'm going to retype it because I know it's different. I don't know why it would be in there. Well, that works. So I don't know. It could have been saved the last password, which would be wrong. Okay. Now, here's what I was talking about, the updates. This little new thing came up. You right click on it, says update, open, drag, DNF Dragora, that's what it says, dialog. Check updates, exit. Now, I don't even remember seeing this before. Software management. This looks like a software, you know, like Yum DNF kind of thing. Reset, refresh, repositories. Yep. This is a software manager. Oh, okay, there's your repos. And see, it has RPM Fusion, See what it has in there. Now you can do this in YumX too, or DNFX, or whatever they call it now. I think it's Yum Extender for DNF now. There's Cisco ones. I tried that once, and I don't think anything would work in there. But the ones that have the check are the ones that are activated, and these are all already done by the. Well, I mean the RPM Fusion. Oh, dang it! You gotta be careful when you click on stuff. You might deactivate things. I'm gonna hit cancel before I mess things up. Now let's try it again. How did I get in there? Okay, repositories. I won't click around in there anymore. But here they are. I was just clicking on them to try to make them. I can't read across there. I can't tell which ones are activated. But if it's going to deactivate them, then I'll get in a mess. And I don't want to change anything right now. Sounds like I'm losing my voice again. Probably going to have a cough drop. I was getting ready to quit anyway, but hit cancel on that. Oh man, it hit me like a rock. So I was getting ready to quit, but that's telling me I have to quit. Sometimes I have to quit like that minute. Okay, now it's 2 hours and 31 minutes that I'm going on now too. I forgot to change my thing to full desktop. There we go. Okay. What I was wondering if I could set to automatic updates in here. Show updates next startup. Do not show groups. Proceed without asking for confirmation. Interval in minutes to check for updates. I wanted to check for updates. This should be able to turn that. Of course, I haven't looked and seen what you could do. I'll wait and see if I can do that in the one that's the default. But I may be able to. On Fedora 23, I was able to actually use Apper in combination with something else to get the automatic updates up and running, and that's what I want. I didn't say turn on automatic updates in there though, but yeah, this is another package manager. I'm just going to type something in there to see what comes up. I don't know if it's searching or not. I typed web and then hit enter. It wasn't working. Hitting enter didn't make it work, and I don't think I missed it. I could have hit shift. Should have done something a little less broad than web. It's going to be 1,000 applications. But while that's doing its thing, it's not that many on here. Oh, I've got a website copier. That's a good app. And Cheese Webcam Booth. Okay, there's LibreOffice. See what happens when you type Word, Abbey Word, LibreOffice, OPH crack. That can reset your Windows passwords. I don't know if it can do Linux passwords or not. Of course, if you're in here, you already know your password. But that's an audio-video thing, non-timeline. There's all kind of non-mixer, sequencer, timeline. Got Wireshark, Zen-Nap. Yeah, I did that security thing. Audio. So we got Pulse Audio. Make sure that's always handy. Yeah, I did the audio groups. So there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff in here. Edit. It'll be editors for, see, that's departed is partition editor, Emacs, There are some more things I still want. Kden Live, or video editor. That's my favorite video editor when I do edit videos. Audacity, that's my favorite simple audio. I'm starting to learn another one. I've used it some and it's really powerful. It's a multi-track audio editor. Guitar X. If you play guitars, there's a bunch of cool stuff for that. MIDI music editor. That's a pretty good batch photo editor. That's my favorite screenshot shutter. Synfig Studio Animations. I've messed around with that. Eclipse. That's an IDE. It is a good one. I like it. Pick Lab. That's for pick processors. I never have learned about that yet. I just read about it. Pick microcontrollers. Pretty popular, I know that. Patch Image Inspector. That's another one I've used. DNF Dragor, what we were just looking at. PDF mod, that'll edit PDFs. That can be really handy. Preferred applications, network connections. That's the system stuff. Let's see. Yeah, Firefox. I don't have any other browsers on there. That other one that just says web browser at the top, that's just opens up Firefox. That's just default in XFCE. I don't know why it's that way. Let's see. What you got? Yum Extender DNF, and then there's, I don't know why more things like that are coming up under Yum, but they are. Pt15 is another video editor that's pretty good. I can't actually think. There's some music apps. I don't think I got VLC. I need to go. See, I need to add. I think there is another script that I've done more editing on, and I just never found it today. With the groups in it. I don't have VLC, and I know I've got VLC in other scripts. And I just now realized. But I could just run one of those other scripts. You know, instead of running this whole long one again. But anyway, that's good enough on that. And I'm not going to do anything with that right now. And where's TeamViewer? Oh, there it is. I don't like the way that jumps. It's really confusing. Okay, so the SE Linux is gone now. Okay, there's SE Linux Troubleshooter. What's that? Graphical interface allows you to mix them. I don't know what that is, but there's a troubleshooter. You can go to it anytime you want. You don't have to wait for it to pop up. And I'll show that one that, okay, here it is. It's always available. And there's the, you know, has detected a problem. Source process systemd log nd. Attempted this access read on this directory dbus1. Hit troubleshoot. If you believe that the system login should be allowed to read access on dbus1, by default, you should report this as a bug. You can generate a local policy module to allow this access. Allow the access now by executing all that. Well, not all of that. I was trying to just select that. Not the number sign, just that part right there. That's telling you that's do it at the command line. And then when they're in separate lines like that, it's usually, well, you pretty much have to, because if you try to select them both, you're going to get that number sign, and that's going to mess it up. So then run that one, and then it'll do that. But if you don't know what in the heck's going on, what any of that means, I don't really know what that means. I don't do anything unless it keeps popping up and bugging me. Then I might go try to find it out. But that means that did not happen, SE Linux. And SE Linux is really strict, so just because something pops up doesn't mean it's an attack or something. It's usually just a permission problem on a directory or a file or something. And I just got through installing all that stuff. It may go away in a while. It may be a bug that they'll fix in a future update. So Usually, I've got one that comes up all the time. Every time I need root privileges on my Fedora 23, it pops one up. And I went and kind of looked into it, and I decided it was just because Fedora 23 is past EOL end of life, and they're just not going to fix whatever it is. And it didn't start happening until after it passed that, too. But it's just, it doesn't stop anything. I can still log in and do whatever I need to do, get as root, and do it's usually, anytime I open up Yum Extender or anything like that. Or if I try to run, I think it happens every time I try to install from a RPM file. But it's a long enough video, and I'm really getting hungry. I was going to try to turn my, there it goes. I'm going to turn on my audio and make sure it was still working. And I'm beginning to be able to run that, my live feed on my laptop and monitor it just all the time for some reason now. But, so there's long videos, two long videos really. This is getting through 2 hours and 41 minutes, and the one before it was over an hour or more. I remember now, hour and a half. But if you have ever built a system, well, I don't care if Linux or Windows, imagine how long this would take to do in Windows. There is a website that can do this kind of thing for you for Windows. It's called 90.com or .org, NITY, something like that. And you go on there and select the open source apps you want, and then it will build you a Windows script to install all that stuff. So I do that on every Windows system I build too, have for years. And you can run that script and just update everything too if you want. But this is way more powerful in the way you can do all this in Linux. And like I said, I have all these scripts. I think I'll go ahead and shut down my ASRock now. And I'll show what I'm talking about, the scripts. But shut it down. I left that little thing in there, and it was still booted to the operating system. I was lucky. I forgot and left my SD card in there. It's down. SD card's bootable. Usually when I forget and leave it in there, it boots to that instead of my operating system. Okay, so yeah, my script. Let's see. Go to Yum scripts, and then we got, I'm not sure which way is the best way to get to the newest script. Yeah, that would be the newest one I've got, actually. Well, sometimes the file dates get changed if I transfer them over regular FTP or something, but that's with my Fedora 14. Maybe I actually have should be some newer ones. I know I have some Fedora 23. Maybe I put them in a different. Oh, I didn't make scripts out of them. That's what it is. So if I go by name, and then I can probably go down. I know I have a few. Well, there's some Fedora 21 install files. See, I put those in their own folder. But I know my laptop's working hard. I guess I better get off that page for a bit. The newest thing I see in there is Fedora 21. Let's see. Server. Should have 23. There we go. See if I have any scripts in there. Yeah, there's a couple in there. Oh, that's that same script I just now was working on. That's not where I got that, is it? Maybe it is where I got it. Okay. Getting tired and I forgot why I was looking for another one. I was looking for DNF. I was going to show not the Yum, but the DNF versions. But let's see. Nope. I know I have some text files I made of my apps. My cough drop is about gone here. I've looked for DNF several times. I do not have a DNF folder. What is that? OBS Studio. Oh, I was trying to install OBS in Fedora 25 Live. There's that's my Fedora 23 server. Just not finding it. Except for the one I just got through using. So maybe I do have them in Yum. Those are all older. Okay, so I guess I'll just show the newest one I can find here. So this is a script from my older Fedora 14 machine, my Red Black BioStar, and I'll just hit view. Now, the change lines longer than the configured line length, so-and-so characters. So I believe that this is all one line. If it wasn't so long that it can't show up in this app. The strange thing is, let's close this because I think kwrite can. There's kviewer and there's kwrite, and I think it opened it up in kviewer. Let's try that. Okay, let's see. No, I don't think I can show it. Let's see. Word wrap, let's turn it off. Yeah, it still won't show it all in one line, but this was built all in one line. At least it should have been. They won't work if they're not. But as long as you don't have, well, they will too. Well, this kind won't, I don't believe. Those other ones, obviously they weren't in one line, but you know, I had DNF group installed in front of every one of them. But the Kickstart files don't need that. It just says, you know, command, and then they're all on separate lines. So, but I do know when I was using this bin bash .init script like this with Yum, I had to have it all on one line or it wouldn't work. So anyway, Yum, Y install, skip broken, and it starts with acetone, ISO. Now, these all have this specific I686 and all that. And some of these are this is from Fedora 14, some of these, and there's a lot in here. I'll put it back on word wrap to give you the idea. That's how many's in there. It's something like, this may not be the right one because this doesn't have enough. The one that's my full Fedora system is 3,800 apps. This is not it. But So I don't know. This is like a strip down. When I look there, that looks like that might be a return that's in there. You see that space right there? Sometimes you have to get into. I use LibreOffice or OpenOffice to get rid of all the returns and everything. Sometimes I still have made mistakes, and they're still there. But anyway, I can make somewhere. I have several. I keep doing backing up on my apps list in my Fedora 23 system every so often. Now I don't know where I put them. I didn't see them, but they're just text files instead of scripts. So I couldn't see anything labeled Fedora 23 in there. Let me see if I can find it some other way. Maybe I can find it with this. I don't know if this search, I hardly ever use it because usually I can just either use the search in Krusader or I just know where it is and find it. I thought I closed that. It's back on stop script. I thought I had clicked on my website to get off of that. It must have been froze up because of that script, so maybe I'll close the web browser. It says unit uninterruptible. I'm going to say kill. I don't know what's going on with it. It did quit using up, running the fan real hard, but okay, didn't find anything. Probably have to do something like, I don't know if that'll work or not. Let's try it. Put some wildcards in there. I'm not sure if I can do that in this thing. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, Fedora 23 app spins. Yeah, there's the ones that I was just using. Well, that's a good search. Okay, app spins. And Fedora 23 genome low 5 installed apps text. There's one. Fedora 23. That's the spins again. Where is that? Oh, it's in an old folder I had for that. I've got another one called Lenovo Think Center. That must still be Dawn documents. No wonder. There's a server with more stuff on this machine that I didn't realize. I mean, a folder that I didn't realize I had. I thought I had renamed that, and that'd be in the backup, but not. But that's home Dawn. That's not in the backup drive. This is not even searching the backup drive. It's just searching Dawn directory, home Dawn. Okay, so I think if I just double click on that, it will go straight. Oh, it opened it up. Okay, now this is what they look like when you do the command that gives you this. I've got it somewhere. That'll give you your list of every app installed on your system. Then you have to get rid of all this extra stuff, and the best way to do that is open it up as a spreadsheet in OpenOffice and then delete those columns. And actually, in Fedora 14, it was good to leave all these exact version numbers in there, but I'm thinking now, if I could get rid of that, all those version numbers, and it's fine to have the x86-64, but the version numbers can help and hurt. Like when you get to a newer system, a lot newer system, then as long as it's 64-bit, you'd be good. Now, getting rid of that x86-64 would be a real challenge, and I don't think it would install if you just said remove everything with the .x86. But you could remove those version numbers. And I haven't been making scripts in a while, so these are just text files still. But this is every app that's on this Fedora 23 system. And I could turn that into a script. Now I'm starting to wonder, maybe that would be the next. Maybe I do end up wanting to do that. Or I could add it to the other script if I wanted to add all these apps. But in a way, I would rather just make this a separate script. Of course, then you would get you're going to get KDE stuff, see, because I've got KDE on here. And that's why I just ran those groups. And like I said, you're going to have apps in here that are actually not from the repos. I can't think of, well, let's see. Well, that's not installed, I don't think. You wouldn't get wallpapers. See, that's not in it. Well, WALP is not in there because it's only running in portable mode. Firefox is installed. That's actually going to be the older version because I'm running my Firefox in portable mode because it quit updating. And anyway, Chrome, there's Open Chrome. What about Chromium? I don't know which one is Chromium and which one's Chrome. That might be it. Chromium is installed, and then Vivaldi. I don't see that. Am I spelling it wrong? No, it's in there. This could be one that's yeah, that's before I installed a Vivaldi. That's what it is. It's an older one. I don't know where I've somehow got myself mixed up. Yeah, January 28th, 17. That might 16. 5, 17, 12, and 2016. So this is an old one. Somewhere there's all my newer ones. I don't know where they are. But that's really weird that that's the only one that showed up. You can go by type. I'm not going to do that though. Anyway, that's the idea. And so that's how I do it. Everybody has their ways, and so maybe that can be helpful to somebody, and hopefully. And I find that my videos help me a lot because I'll go back and I've forgotten something and how I did it or what I did. I'll go back and go thumb through that video, skip through that video, and find, oh, okay, this is what I was at. Well, that's where I left off, you know, or whatever. So they help me. And see, I downloaded those, but I didn't end up using them. And there's one that I do that all the time. That's a Windows app. ASRock grep is a command, or I guess it's an application. I didn't really know that. I thought it was just a grep command, but that you can use a lot in Linux. I only use it when I copy and paste it because I don't really know how to use it. But this is a version that will run on Windows. You install it, and it's, well, I knew it was popular because you always see people, like if you want to find, you'll say RPM, something RPM grep, and then it'll find you all the RPMs, like say web, so grep RPM web. That's not the command. I don't remember how you do it, but you can do that in Windows, and it's to people that like to work in the command line a lot. They say it's pretty powerful. It was an article I read, and I thought, well, I'm going to download that because I might try that one day. And I've got hundreds of apps like that for Windows that I think I might try one day. But there we go. That would be how we do that. Okay, so I think this is enough of all that fun for today. And I'm actually getting to check my stream before I go without having to show it to everybody. So that's cool. Check it on the laptop. So even though it's a pain with that script error, it's actually, I think it's worth it. There's sometimes, like I said, a lot of times when I can't have the laptop out because it's just don't have enough space. But of course, you can see the lid of it there in the way right now, but that's not a big deal. So I think I will go, and next time we come back, well, I'll figure out. I don't know what I'm going to do next on there. There's probably a few more apps that I missed. I just realized VLC, some of the really most important apps. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to wonder if I had a script with VLC and all that in it, but I do somewhere. I guess if I should have went and looked on my backup drive, but there's so much more stuff on there. I thought I had it in my, this machine on home DOM, but evidently it's only in my backup drive. But I've got some scripts I made with some of my most favorite apps like VLC and stuff like that. I can always just run one of those, as long as it doesn't have the version numbers. As a matter of fact, I just typed out. It was some that I just typed them out or copy and pasted them, and they just have, like VLC and, this and that and the other. So I still got some more apps to install. Okay, so I'm going to go and get something to eat and stuff, and then I'll just go to bed. I'm tired. Been up all night again. I was getting up in the morning for about a week, I think, and then I messed up, stayed up again. Well, I didn't feel good. When was it? Yesterday. Yeah, I ended up sleeping 14 hours because I woke up and I didn't feel good. I woke up actually earlier than usual. Didn't feel good. Ate a little snack, just a cookie, I think, and I was hungry. I ate a cookie, went back to bed, and ended up sleeping altogether 14 hours. Then when I got up, I really felt even way worse for hours and hours, and then I ended up staying up all night, and so here we are. Okay, wasn't that interesting? All right, this is Don, and I will talk to you later.